a boyfriend conversation with our children at a young age. We have our young daughters. We have the children that are mentally retarded, disabled. We have our teenagers. We have our whole family basically in distress no matter what age range they are. Even when we talk about the older women and men dating, why is there a dating agenda? Because they're hoism, idol worship connected. Hoism worship, sexual immorality worship connected to all these different things. They have an agenda connected. Your little girl, she's pretty. Oh, that's my little girlfriend. And he gives her a couple of dollars and stuff like that. And you think nothing of it or whatever and stuff like that. That's your little boyfriend, that's this, or that's my girlfriend type thing going on at the schools, and you haven't realized that's what's creating the walls. Yeah, that's what's creating Jericho, them large thick walls that is hard to break down. That's what's creating the attitude of the Nephilim, where they're sitting up there basically saying it's okay for me to do you however because you're okay with it and you're not. So we have to check certain things. Don't tell my daughter she your girlfriend. Don't tell my son he your boyfriend and you grown. Or even if you're the same age as them, don't be telling them no mess like that. They ain't going to school. I'm not sending my child to school to date. I'm not sending them to be on that mess. I sat up here and I think of all the years, like I'm older now. And I thought about the young women that was on the bus, and these women are suffering mental retardation. And I think about myself and my developmental stage. I'm a teenager, and their mindset is undeveloped. And guess what? As a teenager, my mindset was undeveloped, but here I am dating, coding, entertaining certain stuff. I'm in my 20s and I'm still undeveloped mentally. That's a form of mental retardation. I'm still suffering a form of mental retardation, even though I'm functioning, even though I'm capable of doing so much more, even though I'm educated, even though I'm smart, even though I can go to school. I realized that there was a connection there. There was a connection to this victimization system that these young women were being placed in that I can identify with. The victimization. And nobody want to speak on it, preach on it, teach on it, or say anything about it. Because the moment you say something about it, you're wrong for saying something about it. Half of our young women are giving up rights that they don't even know that they have. They don't know that they equal up to a man and they have the same rights as a man. And your rights was only taken away from you with a curse that says if you are married to him, that he has a right to certain stuff over you, and your desire will be to him, and he shall rule over you. And this was a curse they gave you, not a blessing, but a curse. And there's only one woman you see operating under the curse, which is Tamar. She's operating under the curse, but almost about to wipe out your whole bloodline, which says that she has a right to certain stuff. So she operated under the curse until she became a concubine, which was a whore. Because she became the concubine to this man's father, which was a whore. And thinking about it, it also is happening in everyday society. You're dating one dude, next thing you know, you're dating his friend. That's a concubine mentality, because guess what? You had sex outside of marriage, so he's not tied to you. So now he wants to share you with his friends. Even if you was married to him and now you're with his friend, there's a spirit that connects with that biblically that's talked about. Biblically, that's talked about. You got men that can't even stand up for the young women that they're trying to date, but you still trying to date. You got the spirit of Abraham. You can't stand up for your wife but you still trying to date. Yeah, that's a story in the Bible that said Abraham was scared that the Egyptians were going to kill him. His wife was so beautiful. And he says to her, well, just say you're my sister. And they come to find out this is this man's wife. That's a spirit of hoism. You just sent her off to be with an Egyptian man. And you're her husband. That's pimping. That's the spirit of pimping. And you are considered a righteous man of God. People follow you. But you're too scared to stand up for your wife and say that she's your wife. Then that means that you're not actually operating in God's way, because God has an alpha complex. There's certain stuff that connects to God. God is the Alpha and Omega. As an alpha, you're going to stand up and you're going to say, hey, that's my wife. They ain't going to go like that. We might have to go through. But this ain't how it's going to work. We sitting here, we suffering so much stuff because people aren't operating in the actual holiness of God. You got young women, oh, my husband's going to lead and he's going to do that and he's going to do this. Let me tell you something. I'm not telling you as a woman that you don't have a right to lead. But let me tell you something. You can sit here and you can act like a lamb to the slaughter if you want to. And then you want to blame God for the lies that another man told you because they're operating in witchcraft in the church. See, what they ain't telling you is that they operating in witchcraft in the church. This is the reason why most of our daughters, when we send them to church, you know how you send your child to church? I'm sending my baby to church. I'm sending my daughter and my son to church to learn of God. And they're coming back with issues. And the issues I can't understand because guess what? There is crafts that are operating in the church while you in worship. You're coming to the church to find God, and you're sitting up there ending up in satanic situations. What that means, you're ending up in a subconscious situation. You're ending up comatose so that the enemy can sit up there and practice his crafts on you and how it can sit up there and manipulate, take control of you. But God said, I come so that you can have life and have it in abundance. So when you're sitting up there, you find yourself dealing with the devil being vision compromise, hearing compromise, taste compromise, or whatever. You find yourself dealing with the raiders. The raiders is the one coming to steal your peace, coming to steal your joy, coming to steal what's rightfully yours. When you find the walls raising. See, some of them ain't finna tell you that they have walls that they have risen. And that connects to the devil as well. When you find them sitting up there trying to force you into all kinds of situations that force you to be patriotic. You got to go against the grain. You got to fight all the time. You got to go through this. You got to go through that. When you find yourself in them situations, there's a standard you have to bring up. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits and principles. I can't even tell them right now. We have to get into a job and hold down a job so that we can make a pathway for people that's coming. Because after a while, they're going to try to force you into hoism because you're working. And they already started doing it, but they don't care. It's not until they see more people of God in charge that they're going to start caring. They're going to say, hey, you can't do that here. Why can't we do that? They got more people working and operating and fighting against this mess than anywhere else. Because let me tell you something. They're using rape as a weapon. That's a weapon for them. They will rape you off to try to create fear in you. They're trying to rape you off and create issues with you. It's not until you recognize and say, okay, well, look, no weapon formed against me gonna prosper, even with you sitting up here and trying to rape me off every day. I'm still gonna function. I'm gonna operate in the will of God. And if we ever go toe to toe, I'm gonna fight like a full grown man for God's will, because I know you operating in pure evil. And nobody's realizing that. Nobody's realizing that. And law enforcement involved in on it. They ain't gonna tell you all this stuff. You calling law enforcement has their places in what's taking place. Some of them are involved. You work with a person every day, and trust me, I'm former law enforcement. You work with a person every day, but you didn't know that they would operate in idolatry and idol worship. You thought everything was good. Everybody was good. Everybody ain't good. We got people in our family. You know, I'm going to be real with you. I got people in my family I don't even want to deal with. I don't trust you. I don't want really nothing to do with you. I'm forced to even, when I say forced, I'm telling you, certain people, I'm forced to hold conversations with. And I know it's a terrorist, but guess what? I got to put you in God's hand and cut you off. I know it's the enemy. I know it's the devil. I know it's the demons. But I got to cut you off and put you in God's hands, because there is nothing I can do with you. You are nothing like me. Your fruits display something totally different. Your fruits are deceptive. So I got to deal with you in a deceptive way, and I don't feel comfortable doing that. So therefore, I feed you with a long-handled spoon and get from around you. There's too much going on today, and half of it connecting to hoism. Every woman that you seeing in the Bible, they have used like as if she was a piece that they want to flamboyantly talk about. Esther, you used her. She on an auction block, auctioning off her talents, her skills, and who she is to marry a king. You're even grooming her to marry this king, and yet and still you don't see the spirit of hoism in that. You didn't groom her to take on her own right. You groomed her to lay down with a man. We sit up there, we talk about Ruth. Okay, I love my mother-in-law. I love her. But guess what? She's groomed to date an older man. She's groomed to date an older man after her husband died. Do you understand? You put her in a compromising position. If I come to your room in the middle of the night because you've been good to me, and I lay my head on your feet to warm your feet, and you wake up to me, a woman laying at your feet, certain stuff that I am saying to you, you have to be careful, because these are whole codes in holiness that have been squished. The truth been squished. We got Delilah. What drawn you to Delilah, Samson? What drawn you to that woman? Spiritual. So you got to start asking questions. Is you really drawn to that person? I'm gonna tell you something. A guy recently, I know that got married. He didn't even know this spirit was on him. Where I know he had started getting a lot of girls trying to talk to him, because they was trying to send him back out in the world. So they put a spirit around him where women would desire him. Now, he's not the prettiest guy in the world. He's not the most nice looking guy in the world, but they put a spirit on this man where women would desire him. Any woman that came around him, these demons did a little cold thing. And guess what? Some of them are attached to the holy the righteous or whatever. And the only way you can discern these spirits and actually learn how to avoid them and stuff like that, because the moment they'll try to throw you out your mind and you're a holy woman. What I just said to them, they'll try to throw you out your mind and you are a righteous woman or man for a spirit that they have connected to a person. Let's say this person isn't sexually active and they're trying to get their lives back on track or whatever, or they're getting ready to get married. They connect a demonic spirit to this person, where every woman that comes around them that's of the world will desire them, and even the women that are not of the world will have a desire to be with them sexually. So some of these desires y'all got to put in check, because there's a spirit of hoism connected to some of this stuff that's trying to take consumption and consume you. Now, he ain't the cutest person in the world, but why is this spirit connected to this person? Get you in the world. You talking about you brother this and minister that and reverend this and pastor that, and your plans for the future is to be a preacher, but at the same time you're not able to discern the spirits that they're trying to attach or have around you that will tempt other things that are of the world. You don't know about that. You haven't addressed that. They ain't telling you about this stuff. And guess what? That's some stuff you're going up against. A lot of us are going up against unclean spirits, ungodly spirits. We're sending our daughters to school and they're in physical warfare. They're in mental warfare. Our sons, we send them to school. They're going through physical, mental, emotional warfare all out in the school. Because we're dealing with school systems that have been infiltrated by unclean spirits that say, okay, we're going to teach your daughter how to be into hoism. We're going to teach your son how to be in hoism. See, the son doesn't know being a pimp, a player. It's just another word for you being a hoe. They disguised it, made it sound good. Oh, it sounds good. I'm a pimp. No, you're a whore. A certified whore. And nobody's going to tell you that. And they made it sound good. You get what I'm saying? They're making it sound good. Our young women are entertaining men willing to have sex in bathrooms, willing to have sex anywhere. And she's not understanding that mentally she's suffering mental retardation so that they can get over on her with these type of spirits. Mental retardation. When we talking about the devil say he went to and from, back and forth, we talking about a timeline. Some of these timelines is going back. Some of these timelines is going forward. And they said they going to and from on a timeline. And throughout the timeline, the man of God or the woman of God and people of God, which God created, is not serving it. We're not empty souls. We're not empty vessels. We are people of God. And then you got this other thing where they're puppeteering as well. And looking a person dead in the face saying nobody want to serve you, but they puppeteering. Nobody want to follow you, but they puppeteering. Nobody's in worship, but they puppeteering. Half of when you really start to think about it, and I'm going to tell you what happened to me. I ended up I was about 36. A lot of people look at me and say, oh, well, you look real young. Your face, you look so young. They don't know I'm like in my 40s. In my 40s. I'm old. And as I'm sitting up here and I'm looking at these young people, they're not grasping the concept that I ended up in my 30-something waking up. Waking up, realizing that I was naked. realizing that I had been taken advantage of by the enemy. And the enemy talked bold when it done took advantage of you for 30-some years. The enemy get real bold. Bold to the point you'll slap the mess out of them. The enemy gets real bold with you. Oh, I done had you for 30-some years. You ain't going nowhere. The enemy begins to mark up your back like you a slave with his finger. Mark on your skin like you a slave. Being very disrespectful. Thinking that you don't know. But during that awakening, I didn't chose just myself. I chose God. It was like, who you gonna serve? Us, or you gonna go it by yourself? No, I'm gonna serve God. I got God. God got this. I got God. As you serving God, they still trying to make you a handmaiden. They want to do a handmaiden tale. I'm not your handmaiden. I'm not your slave. I'm nothing to you. Don't try me with that Nephilim foolishness, because I will Neph and limb in this mug. Don't try it. Because it gets real when you know what you're up against. It gets real when they sitting up there and they saying, okay, it's been 20 years, 30 years, and you're not a judge. All these judges that you see at your courthouse, they're our judges. So now you got to sit up here and you got to tell your kids them, hey, I don't know how we've been thinking for the past couple of years, but basically we're at a loss and we got to play catch up. We got 30 years catch up to do. And guess what? When they know you trying to catch up, you ain't got no money to buy nothing. Try going through them years where you ain't got not now dime to buy nothing. We've been stealing checks from you your whole life, and we're going to continue to steal these checks and build our empire off your back from what God has given you or what the government is giving to you. And they steal them and they flamboyant about stealing them. So you sitting there, you thinking, oh man, this is messed up. But you're not realizing they got other things. Because guess what? They want you to work on their jobs. Don't make your jobs. You ain't built not nail job for yourself. You don't own nothing for yourself. You got an apartment. That apartment you don't own. When are you going to be an owner? You're not being an owner because basically you're falling into a system that has already said that you done lost. You get up every day, you go to work, and there's nothing wrong with work because guess what? That's part of the thing. A man that don't work don't eat. But they got a complex where they say we're stronger so we can take whatever you make. I can't tell you, sometimes I'm looking on my card, whether it's $1 or $2, $3, money is taken off my card in small sums. I don't agree with this. And I'm going to tell you something else too. They will take money, okay, when you work, they want a portion of your check. This is the reason why you're not measuring up to what the economy and the environment says. And nobody want to confess this. We going through inflation because that connects to the demonic part of it where they robbing you. You're paying double for ice cream when the ice cream never changed its price. You paying double for food and the food never changed its price, but there's somebody connected to you want to eat and they don't want to pay the tab that you paid to eat. The sandwich actually costs $5, but you paying $12. Because you got to pay his and yours, or hers and yours. And then they call it inflation. And inflation didn't hit. It's the fact that these niggas don't want to work and don't want to pay for nothing. that actually hit you. And they're walking behind you, causing pure hell for your life, and nobody's talking about it. Okay, if everything is doubling for me, then explain this to me. If everything is doubling for me, shouldn't my pay double too? But guess what? When you go to work, yeah, your pay did double, but they want half your paycheck. And this is the spiritual part about it, because when they start talking about the spirit, this stuff you can't see. You can't see it until you spiritual, until you on that level. And I'm gonna tell you how you get on that level. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna break it down to you, because it's gonna take years for you to do it. But when you get on this level with God, that's when you able to fight them toe to toe. You're not gonna be able to fight them in their own arena. You can become a hoe all day, a chief hoe if you want to, and they still gonna rule over you. It's not until you become their opposition. They don't like God. They don't like God. God stay op. That's an operation that's at odds against hoism. They don't like God, so they infiltrate it and try to lie. That's why you got half them stories. The word of God say it was a sower that went out and sowed good seeds. And he went to sleep. When he awoke, they noticed that they had sowed switches. They had switched out the harvest. They had what they didn't switch out. They sowed tares amongst. What they didn't sow tares amongst, they sowed weeds amongst, so that it would destroy it. Something that's going to take from you. Half of you haven't understood this, man. We be going to work, but we don't realize that we're in warfare at the job. I'm going to work, but I'm in war. Get ready for war. I'm going to work, but I'm at war. This ain't even my job, man. I shouldn't have to fight like this on nobody's job like this. But you ain't just fighting for the job. You fighting for the path. Because on that job is a path. But you didn't know, because you was too busy asleep, and nobody divulged to you that it's a path on half of these jobs that you got to take the path and conquer. And they ain't going to tell you that. We likes to party, but you ain't dancing. And when you dance provocatively. So guess who you dancing for? You dancing for the enemy. You ain't dancing like godly. You ain't offering up worship. And they know this. There's a path through education. Have you taken the path? Have you scripted yourself through the path? Do you know your way through the path? The enemy sits up there. You carry your butt to school every day and don't learn nothing. Act stupid every day. They push you ahead. Oh yeah, of course we're gonna give him a diploma. That's all he gonna do anyway, or she gonna do anyway. And then you spend the next 10, 20 years in your life in turmoil. Nobody talked to you. Nobody coached you on college. They didn't coach you on college because they didn't have plans on you ever becoming anybody. So they don't coach you on that. They coach you on other stuff. How to sell dope. Tell them how to sit up there and take a line up his nose. How to smoke crack. How to walk around here like a crackhead. And when all else fails and you ain't on none of that stuff, guess what? They'll sit up there, they'll use the crafts against you. They'll use psychology, which is a craft, connected to witchcraft. Psychology is connected to witchcraft. They'll use technology. It's connected to witchcraft. See, when you really get on these crafts and you start learning witchcraft connects to just common sense sometimes of what they've been trying to teach you in school. But you're not being told that. You're not understanding. Elementary has an element about itself that takes you to the next level. Some parents, they ain't even the kids' real parents, but some of these parents sitting up there trying to get their kids into technology. Why am I trying to get you into engineering and technical engineering? Because all of these are key components of the future. See, it's a reason why the Bible say, honor thy mother and thy father so thy days on earth can be longer. Guess what? Most of the time, mom and dad doesn't want to see the child fail. This is part of the reason why half of you getting abducted now, and they trying to raise you with these off-brand parents, because your parent has good for you and want good for you, and these other people don't. So this is the reason why there has to be a separation between parent and child, and they've been trying to separate you. You looking at your mom and your dad, you don't love me, all you want to do is work. Let me tell you something. They working like a dog for you. That's for you, because the love they have for you and your family. You guys as a family, that's why they work like that. All you do is work. You work. And this is the only way I could show you love, because there is so much stuff that I got to sit up here and provide for you that you're not even aware of yet. And you complain about the love that I show, but you haven't realized the sacrifice that I made so that we could be straight, so that we don't have to worry, so that we don't have to want. Because guess what? If you carry your butt in them projects, finders keepers, you might lose yourself to these people. So I work so that we don't be in the projects. But guess what? Now the hood got smart. The hood done set up and advanced and went all the way into the suburbs. It's hood even in the suburbs. So you're moving your kids into the suburbs and they still going to the same disgrace. You're sending your kids to Christian schools, but yet and still the warfare is still there, because you're dealing with demonic possession. You're dealing with so much stuff that's taking place within the school system that nobody's talking about. They're not talking about it. They're not preaching on it, teaching on it. I just not told my son, I say, baby, you getting ready to go to high school. You finna go into warfare. I had to sit up him because I love him so much. Take him through. Okay, shouldn't nobody have to tell you to dump the garbage, baby. When you speak to people, every person, I want you to start saying yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. Even to your enemies, even people that you don't like, people that you like, I want you to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yes, sir, no, sir. There has to be a peculiar element about you that's different from everybody else, that shows that I am a person of discipline. I am a person of structure. I have operated under order, not under chaos. I am different. I am different. I say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, for a reason. We ain't equal. You look at me because I say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and you look at me and say that I'm under you. I look at you and I say that I operate in order of God. Feel how you want to feel about me. You ain't changed your ways from doing that op mess that you do when you serving them idol and idolatry gods that y'all serve. So as far as I'm concerned, them op gods that y'all serve, y'all ain't changed y'all ways. I'm not changing mine with my God. And that's something that they ain't able to register. Half of us, we have to operate in the will of God. Not doing our own thing, not chilling out, not hanging out, but doing what God has called for us to do. And that's going to be hard. Trust God, people. Know that God's will is the most important thing, because the enemy is trying to destroy us every day. Guess what? You don't want to go to college. They teaching you not to go to college. Why is they teaching you not to go to college? Because guess what? Their kids in college, their kids elevating. You ain't. You already done been pretty much picked out to be the pun. Their kids elevating to being knights, rooks, kings, queens, bishops. And here you are stuck being the pun because you haven't learned that your way out was through school. So in school they talking, they told you was stank, you smell like pee. Here's what it is. I'm gonna keep going to school. Smelling pissy. Happens to the best of us. They looked at you. Oh, you so ugly. Her hair don't never be done. Our hair so slick down tied, our scalp, and her hair so nappy and afry. You better walk up there with that afro puff and that afro or that slick and scrape, whatever you got, girl, going for yourself. If your ponytail is only this long, you better walk up there and slick that ponytail down that long and do what you got to do. I'm still finna educate myself. Oh, she's so ugly. I'm still finna educate myself. Let me tell you something. I go to these people's job. I can't even afford glasses right now because the pay isn't like what I really want for myself. I'm dead serious because I have liabilities. I have responsibilities that I got to take on and get done. They like, oh, we pay you this and we pay you that and stuff like that. Nah, your pay ain't where it's supposed to be. With what I'm up against, rent costing $2,000, rent costing $1,500, rent costing $1,000, and here you is, you want to pay a joker $1,000. I can't even cover rent with what you paying. A nigga stomach about to touch their back because you trying to eat off of me, and guess what? I ain't eating at all. And that's just as real as it get. You want to eat off of me, and I'm not eating at all. And they don't want to tell you like this. And the reason why we say the word nigger, and they say it's a rotten piece of wood, our body's sitting there comatose decaying. While all this going on, while they doing demonic activities, while we dancing with Satan, while all this is going on, our bodies is deteriorating. And we're not going to add in the torture that goes on with the deterioration. The torture that you're going to endure with the deterioration. You dealing with people raping you off. You ain't had sex in years. You sitting there in your comatose state. They just raping you off. Giving you STDs. You sitting up there, you going to work sick as a dog. Because they want to give you STDs. And 1, 2, 3s, baby. I don't have time for that. I don't have sex. I don't defile myself. So certain stuff I shouldn't be going through because I don't defile myself. This is the reason why they do rape. Because guess what? They chose to defile themselves. You chose to be in hoism. Now deal with a whole life. You chose that art worship. Certain people didn't even choose it. You chose the boyfriend. You chose a boyfriend, but what you didn't know, the boyfriend trying to sacrifice you off so he don't have to get done in the butt no more. So he's offering you up as a sacrifice. The young woman, she's sitting up there doing the same thing in reverse. She's sick and tired of them using her everything, pretty much. So she grabbed you up as a young man who is smart, wise, and got wisdom, and want to offer you up as a sacrifice instead of eating their own pie. And that's not meaning eating your own vagina or something like that, or your own penile area. What it actually means is eat your own pie. It came from a Stephen King's novel, Thinner. I think Thin or Skinny or something like that. I forgot what it was. Thin. I think it's Thin. Where the guy sits up there and cursed the man. And after he cursed him, he put his curse in a pie. where he turns thin, he turns skinny, and he puts it into the pie. And when he puts it into the pie, he tells the man, eat your own curse. That's a way to tell. When a person tells you eat your own pie, it means eat your own curse. Stop trying to feed your curse to everybody else. Only when you devour your own curse will you live again. Devour your own curse. Walk in it so that you know how to undo it, so that you know how to receive the blessing again if this ever was to happen. But they can't do that because they're not in alignment with God. So they sit up there and they grab people and they offer them up. I remember seeing this one on show, and they kept telling the younger woman, say, if you go in the house with that man, you ain't gonna make it out. And she was like, y'all all want me not to have nothing. If you go in that house with that young man, you're not gonna make it out because that man has plans on sacrificing you. So she ended up in this man's house in a comatose state because she wanted stuff out of life. And he was like, I'm gonna marry you, I'm gonna do this. He showed her the money, showed her all this stuff, and guess what? She ended up in there in a comatose state. Remember this, young women and men, you may not have their type of money, but you may not have their type of problems either. And if you keep following up with them because they seem to be prosperous, you end up inheriting their type of problems. Some of these men are being used for hoism because they followed the wrong people because the people had money. People had, and they didn't. And they were warned, don't follow so-and-so. Don't go behind so-and-so. Man, so-and-so, so-and-so ain't even finna wake it up, man. Half the stuff that person do. And here you is talking about you following them. We're trying to wake you up to what's going on. If you're not willing to receive what the word of God is saying, hey, I can't do nothing for you. I'm telling you, they looking for people. They boastful. When you start reading the Keys of Solomon, a joker talking about they taking you down to hell as slaves. As slaves, you're going through the devil situation because they taking you down to hell tied to other people as slaves. These sorors and sororities and stuff like that, you're tied to your sister and you hold your sister's hand, and brother, you holding your brother in front of you. This is a slave walk. You're going down together. What's offering you up as a sacrifice, we don't even know. I'm not even that high up in it. All I know is they're actually boasting. I don't even know if it connected y'all. I don't know. But they're boasting how they using y'all like a sacrifice. It's clearly written. We take them down and they do their little ritual. You don't know this joker done said he the head over you. He said, hey man, you gonna come to this thing, we're gonna do a ritual or whatever. And he's talking about he the head over you. And he's gonna offer you up as a sacrifice in his place. You gotta be careful. They ritualists. Be careful. Oh, I want my son to come spend time with me and stuff. He don't even know that it's his real son. He don't know what the hell this child is to him. But I'm finna show you something. Finna show you some things. I know dudes that date women and they take the son of the woman to these rituals, enslaving the son of the woman. And the woman doesn't know anything about it. Talking about they switching out their destinies. They're offering up sacrifices. Talking about they grim. Talking about they the grand. I'm offering up to the Grand Master, such and such, such and such, such and such. And now they more flamboyant with it. When I say they open with it, they open with it. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I never known these people to operate like this. But now when you starting to see jokers say stuff, like they ain't sugarcoating it no more. They say it plain in front of you. I'm like, hey, hold up, wait a minute. Player, you don't know me. I don't know you. Why you this flamboyant with me? Why? Look, that's your business. You should have been hiding that from me. I shouldn't know this about you. But guess what? I know about them, and it's a reason why they want you to know about them, because you may be overcoming some things and conquering some things. You moving mountains, and you didn't even know you was moving mountains. When we say some bones are starting to move, these bones begin to move, and you didn't even know you were moving bones. Like, people are actually beginning to get up and walk because you serving God. And you didn't know you were doing that. So now you got a team that's coming out flamboyantly saying, hey, player, this is what's going on, and this is what it is. And you got to be careful, because I'm going to be real with you. Some of these people lie. They'll come to you and say, I'm this, I'm that. And later on, you find out they ain't none of that stuff. I thought you said you was so-and-so, you would connect the so-and-so group with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and stuff like that. And then they got to retract it because they didn't know that you knew so-and-so. So-and-so don't operate like that. They don't go like that. I ain't never seen no mess like that. But that just tells you what level you on. You probably didn't see it because you went on that level. But like I said, y'all need to be careful. Because some of these people got to offer up sacrifices. You talking about you dating. This is my boyfriend. This is my girlfriend. She might have to offer up a sacrifice. You see her, she always have money. If you with her, she like, baby, you ain't got to worry. I'll take care of everything for you. And you know she way out of your league. She too pretty to be with you. And everything. You might see a little ugly attitude every now and then, but you still ain't registered. You ain't paying no attention. She always been nice to you. Do you really think she's nice to you? Do you really think she like you like that? You her sacrifice. She's using you as a sacrifice. She used women, she used men. She don't care which one she sacrificed and enslaved down there in hell. I grew up in hell. When I tell people I grew up in hell, I grew up in hell. Literally in hell. It was so much mess going on. And my mom was the type, she was trying to work. She was trying to provide for us. She was trying to be a good mom. But it was so much hell going on because she's fighting against the tides. She's fighting against that demon going to and from, back and forth from the past to the present, trying to destroy her life. So she's fighting against that. She fighting against them saying you won't make it to the 7th grade. She's fighting against that. I had to hear my enemy say that I wouldn't make it to high school this time around. I won't make it to college this time around. I won't have this time around. But greater is God. I'm happy, like when God sit up there and God shows sympathy, God will have your enemy show you sympathy. They plotting on you, but at the same time they showing you sympathy. They go to fulfill the plot don't work, but God used them to show you sympathy. Thank God. Greater is God. Thank God. You've been applying from jobs after jobs. And one thing you're noticing, I'm going to tell you something. As I serve God, there are some things that I began to notice, right? While I'm serving God in the pureness of my heart, my mind, my body, and my soul, I ended up going down. I ended up not having a lot of money. I ended up not having a lot of stuff because of me just serving God, me worshiping God, me putting God first. I ended up not having because I was subservient to God. I love God and I want to serve God. I'm not finna serve this mess. I'm serving God. And so I ended up going through because I served God. Guess what? When I stopped having sex and I said I devote myself to the fact that I don't want to have sex no more in my life, guess what? I started experiencing rape situation. I started catching STDs. I went and got my tubes tied. I actually went to an abortion clinic. I'm sitting up there at the abortion clinic right there on 45th in West Palm Beach. I'm at an abortion clinic. I'm not getting an abortion. I'm getting my tubes tied. And I actually went in, got my tubes tied where I can't have any more kids. Why am I doing this? I'm not sexually active, but I'm going through rape situations. I am not trying to have no illegitimate child in that type of situation. But guess what? I have 5 kids that are illegitimate, that I'm not married to a man with, that connects to this same rape lifestyle that I'm going through right now when I'm not sexually active. Our only cover up was they put a front runner man in front and hid it. So here I am dating a man and I think I love him and I'm having sex with him. At least I'm thinking I'm having sex with him. And now I'm breeding children without a commitment, a marriage, or anything else. And I'm going through that. So the moment that I said I wasn't going to have sex anymore, the enemy said, I bet you do. And began to rape me off. So here I am, not sexually active. Guess what? I'm coming up with STDs. How do I get a STD? I'm not even having sex. You get STDs when you're sexually active. You don't get STDs when you're not sexually active. Oh, it can show up in your system 10 years later. Stop lying to me. I just had a clear vaginal check and culture and blood test and everything. Now all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, I got an STD. You auction off my vagina? Because this not making sense. If I'm clear 2 weeks ago and 2 weeks later now I'm in your doctor's office after you got a clear medical report because I'm not sexually active, I got an STD. I got stuff I ain't never had before. Trichomonia. What is homonia? Trichomonia. That's homonia. And this is the sad part. I never had that STD in my whole life. It connects to filth. It connects to parasites and germs. And this was years and years ago. When I first started out, and I'm believing in God. I believe in God, but I'm still feeling my body being raped off. And when you tell them you feel your body being raped off, they sit up there. They want to sit up there. You call the police, telling them that you raped. You're going to the hospital. I went to the hospital so many times. The hospital kicks you out the hospital and don't want to give you a test because the test says, yes, you have been raped. So psychologically, you're not mentally thrown off. So after a while, you're not able to receive medical care in your area because your area refused to acknowledge that rape situations is going on in that area. And they feel it's okay to continue to allow it to persist. So when you end up dead from AIDS, I swear to God, or you sit up there, you end up dead from cancer because your body's trying to fight this mess off that they keep putting into you and stuff like that. When you end up dead from the mess that they done did to you, They know what they did. They don't care. But it connects to you being obedient. Okay, so sometimes I gotta die to serve God. Everybody say, pack up and move. Where? Where you gonna pack up and move? This mess is all over the United States. This is going on all over the United States. It's not just in my area. It's not just in your area. It's all over the United States. Packing up and moving is not going to resolve the situation. It's everywhere. We got to stand up and we got to fight everywhere. Because this is what it really is. And guess what? They have this thing called Screw Tape. And I don't know if y'all ever heard of this. It's called Screw Tape. It's an actual book on YouTube. And it's going to talk to you about how these people do their demonic possession type things and enslave your people. So they have been enslaving your people for generation. This one enslaved your mom. And the kids, it's because they enslaved the mom, they want to enslave the children too. And throw the children out of their mind and have them unconscious, unaware, unknowledgeable. You have to know exactly what you're dealing with, because the enemy works in mysterious ways. When I tell you the enemy know you innocent and still sit up there and make you pay the consequences being innocent. And it's too many stories like that. And I don't take it lightly, even with the smallest things. I got a son. He told me one time, he's like, Mom, they this, they that, and stuff like that. And the person that did it wronged him. So when they caught him taking up for himself, they want him to take the punishment for the fact that they wronged him. This is the atmosphere we living in. It's demonic. It's demonic. It's not until they see the bull of God come in and show them demons ain't gonna run things the way we run things. You will not know that most of the companies in our area, they feel like they're progressing and they don't know that they're losing. They're like me back in the days. I was sitting up there. I was dating this one guy. I thought I was doing okay with him. Seems like a nice guy. I'm connected to him. But let me tell you something. When you're dealing with a person that's trifling, that loves to cipher, you're not going to go anywhere. You got takers around you, and they like to take. They take. They want to take your health. So guess what? They see you sitting up there, you're eating healthy foods. Guess what? They trying to stop you from eating healthy. So they'll sit up there, they'll spit down your throat, put feces down your throat, put pee down your throat, and disease your body. They know you blind, so they'll switch your drink to make sure you stay sick. They know you're going through vision compromise, but you still got to get out there every day and go to work. Ain't nobody going to sit up there and sugarcoat nothing for you. It ain't going to get easy. You still got to get up and you got to go do what you got to do. Blind or not blind. Sell up, do what you got to do. Kidnapped or not kidnapped, get up, do what you got to do. Abducted or not abducted, get up, do what you got to do. Ain't nobody going to feel sorry for you. Ain't nobody going to give you nothing. Guess what? It can be 10 times worse than this if you don't get up and do what you got to do. You're going to deal with homelessness. But you got to still get up, do what you got to do. And guess what? The have, going to have more. The have-nots, it gets low. Try to add on. Try to have your increase. And don't let people deceive you out of your increase. I'm going to tell you something else. You get one car, one season, right? Let's say one season you say, oh man, I came up, God done blessed me, I got me a little piece of car. Okay, through like 2-3 years down the line, you get another new car. Don't give away your first blessing, because you got a second blessing. You keep both of them, because the enemy likes to get the first blessing and deprive you. But you don't realize you need both your cars. Know what you're doing. Everything that you got, you keep to service your family, to service your people. If you gonna give it to somebody, give it to your seed, your child, your fruit. Don't sell it to nobody else. Unless you really don't need it. I mean, don't need it at all. Just like, look, man, it's just excess. It's costing me money. Then get rid of it. Other than that, send it off to your fruits, your offsprings. Bless your family, your people. Because the enemy is so much real in this season. And I swear y'all probably think I'm lying because the way I say stuff. I thought if a person had to tell me the stories that I'm telling right now, I went to the hospital to get a rape kit and they refused me because I had went multiple times to get it. And they don't want me to actually expose that I'm being raped and I'm going through rape situations. I would have probably said that person was lying, man. The hospital don't do no stuff like that, man. You can go to the hospital as many times as you want to. But it's not until they start calling the police on you. It's not until they start calling security. It's not until they sit up there and walk in the room and say, we're not treating you. And some of this stuff we have on, man, some of this stuff, I can't make it up, man. I be trying to record some of this stuff. I can't make this stuff up. I can't lie to y'all. You're going to health departments and stuff like that. You like, the CDC ain't catching on to the fact that, hey, we're sick out here. Oh, no, they ain't catching on because guess what? They don't want no records of the fact that y'all been raped off. It's getting real. Wake up, people. Get in that word of God for yourself, because when I'm preaching it and I'm teaching it, you better catch on. Self and Family Incorporated is the ministry where you will sit up here and you will hear my sermons on the Holy Bible. You will hear my sermons on the scriptures. You will hear my sermons on the word of God. If you don't catch on, you're going to lose a lot, because I got to show you certain stuff, and the only way you're going to get it if it's preached to you, if a teacher teach it to you. Because guess what? I didn't get it, man. I was listening to these people. People were telling me a woman is less, a woman is this, a woman is that. She's a female because a female is less than a man. That ain't what the word of God say. That ain't what the word of God say. You trying to give me a desire to be up underneath a man and let a man rule over me. But guess what? Through your curse, through me eating my own pie, was I able to inherit my blessing. I ate that. I went through that. And God allowed me to inherit my own blessing because I ate my own troubles. I ate my own problems. I ate my own curse. And God sat up there and delivered me from it and showed me my way out. Showed me the path out of those situations. Guess what? If you ain't having sex with a man, you don't have those issues. You're able to sit up there and reach halfway to the halfway point where you can sit up there and deal with the demon that you can't see. Because at some point, you're going to come face to face with this demon, and we're going to have to go toe to toe. At some point, you're going to come face to face with your demon. Make sure you eating. Make sure you're doing what you got to do. Keep your weight up. Because at some point, you got to go toe to toe with them. That's the reason why they sitting there weakening you, want you constantly sick, trying to constantly disease you, trying to constantly have you pretty much in a weakened state of sickness. Because some of these people, and I'm going to show you what God has revealed to me. Some of these people spiritually attacking you don't even have a holism spirit in them. What they're doing, they're trying to weaken you through holism by selling off your body. And they stay strong and healthy. Ain't touched not one person. So when it come time to fight, they ready to fight. I hope you are. Know what you're dealing with. You probably say I'm lying. I ain't got no motive to lie about none of this stuff I'm saying. I really don't have a motive. I don't even have a purpose. I'm just telling it like it is. Be careful with yourself. Trust God.